The mopey maid. I only had a maid of honor. She was concerned about her ex hanging out with his current girlfriend all day, changed into her PJs during the reception, didn't want to help set up. She's my best friend and was going through a lot, but it really sucked anyway. Best friend, hell freaking no. Listen, we've all been through heartbreak, 100%. Everyone has a best friend that's been through heartbreak, but on their wedding day, nothing else matters. You need to turn that off. You need to leave your phone inside. You need to give your best friend that one freaking day, 24 hours, and then cry about your ex. The dress mess. Ooh. My bridesmaid slash sister got a dress and said it fit perfectly fine. Day of the wedding, she shows up late for us to get ready in a dress with straps that were too long and that had a small burn front and center. I guess she decided it was a good idea to smoke in the car on the way over and ash flew back in. Her dress could have been altered for free, but she just never tried it on beforehand and we ended up having to run to the neighbors to get safety pins. That's just pure laziness. Come on. You gotta try a dress on before you wear it to a frickin' wedding. Not even for alterations, but like, what if it just doesn't even zip up? Then what would you do? Oh my God, and smoking, like rule 101. Or like put a cover up over, you know, like a long shawl or like a little house coat. I didn't get changed into my bridesmaid's dress at one of my best friend's weddings a few years ago till literally right before they called us out for pictures. Cause I was like, I don't trust myself. I'll spill, I'll have a rip. Couldn't do it. What is going on, you guys? Welcome back. I am Sassy and today we are checking out some sassy freaking bridesmaids that ruined the wedding day. They're technically called entitled on this channel, but like sassy in my words. Let me know if you guys had a bridesmaid's nightmare experience or if you know someone who has. I want to know down in the comments, and also leave a like on this video because it really helps me out, and it's also 6:45 in the morning when I'm filming this. Like, come on, give me some credit. I haven't even had coffee yet. One of my bridesmaids decided she was no longer speaking to me because apparently my offhand comment about not giving every single guest a +1 meant that she couldn't bring her boyfriend. I didn't know she had a boyfriend. She wasn't telling people about him or he would have been invited. She also believed that I didn't deserve to marry my fiance because I'm not Jewish and Jewish men should be reserved for Jewish women, conveniently like herself. Luckily, she removed herself from the bridal party before I kicked her out. That just sounds like a very entitled person all around. That's a lot. Like, if you had a boyfriend, you could have simply just asked from the beginning and said, hey, like, just wanted to clear up, like, is it cool if they came? Is there room? Like, I didn't tell anyone I had a boyfriend, but like, is it cool if he comes? I understand if not. Damn, girls be out here doing way too much. Not me. But my best friend's bridesmaids were supposed to pick her up when she returned from visiting family the day before the wedding, to go out and celebrate at some bars, then to head to a hotel while us groomsmen and groom hung out at their apartment. After being 30 minutes late, they called and asked her to pick them up from a bar. They'd all gotten drunk without her. I just want to stop right there. Are you kidding me? Then at the hotel, all of the bridesmaids passed out and slept in the beds while she had to sleep on a trashy, uncomfortable couch. The next day at the wedding, they didn't help set anything up. All the groomsmen were demanded by the mom of 2 of the bridesmaids to clean up the entire wedding ourselves while they all got drunk. Definitely need some new friends, cause those ones ain't it. That is so freaking selfish. Like, there's no way I'm getting drunk and doing shots unless the bride is doing that with me. Like, we're celebrating her. Huh? There's no logic in that. She said she couldn't come to the wedding last minute, like 3 days beforehand, and then ghosted me. I tried really hard not to be a bridezilla. I thought we were all on good terms and having a good time putting a simple wedding together. But I heard from a mutual friend that she got tired of me asking her to do so much stuff and decided she didn't want to be my friend anymore over it. Like, if it was too much, just have a conversation and say, hey, it's just too much, a little too much. Like, it's just a lot on my plate right now. I've only actually stood in one wedding party a few years ago, and like, she was the most chill bride I've ever met in my life. It was a great experience. I had no complaints. She was in school for event planning and couldn't understand that this was a barn wedding between a 23 and a 24-year-old with a limited budget. When it came time to choose bridesmaids dresses, she insisted on ones that were $400. I said I couldn't ask the girls to pay that and chose an $80 one that was super cute. She says they have a year to save, you should get the other ones, and actually gave me the silent treatment when I chose the equally flattering, cheaper one. Wouldn't you want to save the money though? And it's not your wedding, so why do you care what you look like? Like realistically, maybe the $400 one was nicer and more flattering and you just was like, ooh, it's nicer. Okay, not your wedding. You can look nice at your wedding. My best friend who I stood in her wedding, she literally was like, we just want gold dresses. She sent me links to some of what the other girls were wearing. We all didn't have to have matching ones as long as it was gold and sequins. She sent me some that were $60, $80, just some examples. I actually didn't pay a dime, and I borrowed a friend's prom dress. My bridesmaid didn't even show up to my wedding, wouldn't answer my calls or texts, then blocked my other bridesmaid on Snapchat. A couple of months later, I found out she told people not to come. She bought her dress late and she couldn't afford a hotel room, so before the wedding, I told her if she didn't get her dress in time, I would help her find another dress. I also got her a hotel room at the hotel I was at. If she needed a ride because my wedding was out of town, my other bridesmaid lived close by and would have picked her up. It just hurt because I thought we were close and she still hasn't messaged me. That breaks my heart for you. Like, you went out of your way to accommodate her. And that's mind blowing because you're the bride. You have enough on your plate. This is not supposed to be your worry. Shame. Shame. I'm so sorry. I'll be your friend. Not horrible, but it definitely left me feeling kind of down. My bridesmaids dropped the ball when planning a bachelorette party. They said they were planning one, but who knows what happened, ended up deciding what to do the day of, and we ended up meeting at a pool hall. None of us play pool, and awkwardly played for a couple of hours. It was pretty fun, we're all friends, so it wasn't bad, and we had some delicious apps. After about 2 hours or so, they started wrapping it up. I thought we were going to go somewhere else after that or keep hanging out, but apparently that was the end of the night. The waitress came over and asked about checks, and they told her to split them evenly, including me. I paid for myself, which isn't terrible, but definitely isn't tradition, and I have been the maid of honor in 2 of these friends' weddings, a bridesmaid in a 3rd, and in all 3 we planned awesome parties and covered everything. I understand if people don't have money, so you plan something simple, but honestly, you could save money and rally all night at someone's house and buy freaking Dollarama decorations. Let me in Dollarama and I will throw you the best party of your life. You can get so creative for so freaking cheap. It's not even about the money. I'm sure she just wanted to spend more time with you. The wannabe bride. Not mine, but I was a guest / photographer at my classmate's wedding. She had her friend from another city come over. It wasn't the typical terrible bridesmaid. In fact, she was very supportive and helping, but it was super clear she was obsessed with getting married. She said things like, I've already caught 8 bouquets. This one is going to be number 9. And oh my God, I wore so many wedding dresses to photo shoots. I bet my fiance won't even be surprised when he sees me in my own, ha ha ha. Her fiance, who hasn't even proposed to her yet, was there, and every time she talked about her wedding planning, he rolled his eyes, obviously wishing he was somewhere else. Oh, bless her. She just is one of those who just wants to get married so bad. I feel a little bad, you know? Some people really are obsessed with getting married. They dream of that day their whole lives. We all do, I think, in a sense. I know I do, but I'm not rushing or pushing it. I'm not obsessed with it by any means. But that's sad. At least she's supporting her friend. All right, guys, well, those are some entitled bridesmaids who ruined the special day. Pick your bridesmaids wisely. That's all I gotta say. All right, guys, before I get out of here though, I'm doing today's shout out, and today's sassy shout out goes to Jim1955. And he said, hey, a dill pickle a day. Well, hell, they are just good. I really thought you were going somewhere a dill pickle a day will keep the doctor away. I have sad news though. I have gone to my grocery store twice this week looking for pickles, and they are literally sold out of pickles. Tell me how. It's freaking rude. They should have a jar reserved for me at all times. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here though. Make sure you guys leave a like on the video. It really helps me out. Stay classy and stay sassy. Bye. I'm literally filming this at 6:45 a.m. The sun's not even out yet. I don't know why, but I just thought of one of the 7 dwarfs. Mopey. Oh, because one's Dopey. They should have named one. Oh wait, where's it Mopey? What are the 7 dwarfs? Forget it, I don't have time. Let's do an intro. You need to focus on my frickin' face. What time are we at? Okay, I don't know if I'll be able to get through all these just because they're like kind of longer reads. For the morning of my wedding, I hired a fancy penthouse apartment for myself and the bridesmaids to get ready. Laura is the biggest party animal out of all of us, so naturally we questioned why she wasn't drinking. Laura then told us she was pregnant. Of course, I was happy for her, but obviously the focus was then on Laura and her pregnancy and not getting us ready for the wedding, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we all get ready and headed to the venue. The photographer kept us outside the venue for a short while so he could do posed photos with myself and the bridesmaids. I was holding my bouquet, Anna and Kelly were holding theirs, but Laura placed hers on the floor and was standing with her hands cradling her stomach as if to emphasize her bump, which she was only 12 weeks pregnant. The photographer asked her to pick up the flowers so we could all be holding the bouquets, and Laura refused and said, "Oh, it's okay, I'd prefer to stand like this," and carried on cradling her stomach. We always like see in movies about the joke that like your friend will stand you up on your wedding day by announcing she's pregnant, blah, blah, blah. Obviously she can't really get around it because she's not gonna drink alcohol and you're gonna ask why, so she's gonna have to tell you that she's pregnant. But you could have told them like maybe before the wedding and just said, "Hey, I don't want to take away from your special day, so I just want you to know like I'm only 12 weeks pregnant, but I won't be drinking, blah, blah, blah." That's what I would have done, because now all the photos do look weird. My attention in the photo would go to the woman whose belly is like that and she's holding her belly. You know, my sister was a horrible bridesmaid. She was supposed to be maid of honor, but refused to do any of the responsibilities. She would literally call me a bridezilla and yell at me for nagging her when I asked her to help with anything from planning and decorating. She did make the cake though, in the one flavor I asked her not to use because my husband and I both hate it. Why? Like, why was she supposed to be your maid of honor? I'm confused. Your sister sounds like she sucks. Why was she supposed to be maid of honor and why was she a bridesmaid? Honestly, if she was giving me a hard time from the start or any of this nonsense, I would say, you can just be a guest then. Like, you don't have to stand at my wedding if you don't want to. Obligatory, not my bridesmaid. One of my best friends got married a couple of years ago, and one of our other best friends was maid of honor. We were a group of 6, but the bride and maid of honor were inseparable ever since they both found out they were pregnant within a month of each other. The entire wedding and reception, maid of honor was in the worst mood ever, to a point that her own father told her to stop being such a spoiled brat in what was meant to be the happiest day of her best friend's life. There's only a handful of photos where she's actually smiling, and at one point of the night, her mom's dress had broken and maid of honor actually screamed and shouted at her for it like it was her fault in front of so many people. This girl sucks too. Why? Like, why are you in such a bad mood? Like, if they're pregnant at the wedding, I don't know if that was tied into the wedding or they were pregnant before, whatever. Leave your feelings at the door. You know, it's better to just, even if you just have to sit at the table, smile and nod because you're in one of your freaking moods, fine. Snap out of it though, don't take it out on other people. This is one day, y'all, one freaking day. I went to wedding dress shopping with a couple of bridesmaids and had an 11 a.m. appointment at a bridal salon. One of my bridesmaids had been drinking before our appointment and showed up totally wasted. She was loud, slurring, grabbing different wedding dresses off the racks. The salespeople kept asking her to sit down, but she wouldn't listen. She finally said that she could tell she wasn't wanted there and left. And she was driving out of the parking lot. She hit the salesperson's car and drove away. They took down her tag number and called the police, who came to the scene and interviewed me as part of the investigation. Oh my God. Later on in the afternoon, she called me, screamed. Oh my God. She didn't even remember hitting the car. Awesome. Great. Imagine being imagine this happening and you're trying on dresses and next thing you know, your day is turned into like a legal investigation and you're being interviewed by the cops. Who let her get in that car? That's what I want to know, ladies. I would have taken those keys from her and shoved them down my pants because there's no freaking way my friend is driving if she's wasted. The negative Nancy. Poor Nancy's and Karens and stuff like this, like Judy, Attitudey, all these people who get like, these nicknames. That's why I just gave myself the name Sassy. Because I'm like, people are gonna call me it anyway and I can't call myself on YouTube, so Sassy it is. I chose my best friend of 16 years to be my maid of honor. Big mistake on my part, as she has a strong personality, can be very controlling, and is studying to be a lawyer, so she believes she can never do any wrong. About 4 months ago, my fiance and I were thinking and decided it'd be cheaper and easier to just have a backyard wedding to save some money. That's cute. So they were gonna spend $16,000 at their current one. I told my maid of honor about it, and she basically just pooped all over the idea. She called it trashy and a glorified graduation party. Thinking it could do no harm, I asked her mom if it'd be a possibility for us to have the wedding in her backyard. She declined because of liability issues. Fine. The next day, my maid of honor confronts me and calls me a crappy person and selfish for going behind her back and asking her mom. They don't have the best relationship, but they still talk every now and then, and I really thought it wouldn't be an issue. I apologized over and over to talk to my friend, while she repeatedly told me I was stupid. Okay, so you kicked her out of the wedding. That's a tricky situation. First of all, if I choose to have my wedding in a backyard, why are you calling it trashy and a glorified graduation party? Sometimes people can't afford big weddings, and backyard wedding can still be special and beautiful. That is what it is about. It's not about the glitz and the glam for some people. The whole mom thing though, ooh. I feel like that, yeah. I mean, I feel like if you know they don't have a good relationship, I do think you should have gone to your friend and said, hey, would you mind if I reached out to your mom to have it in her backyard? But you admitted you were wrong and you apologized. I feel like that's something that could be forgiven. You know what I mean? I was in a wedding where one of the other bridesmaids was asked to give the band a CD for the couple's first dance. Well, they played the wrong track, same song, different version. The couple didn't even notice, but the bridesmaid was furious. She raged loudly against the band during the dance and yelled at the band lead after. When I tried to calm her down by telling her the couple didn't even notice, she yelled, but I did, and this is about me. Ew. No, it's not. At your wedding, it's about you. At mine, it's about me. Not even freaking notice because I was too busy dancing with my man. So why the f do you care? When I told my bridesmaid that my wedding date was in November, she said that was stupid and I should move it to summer. Then when I chose gold for the bridesmaid dresses, she said she would wear it because it made her skin look pasty. She went so far as to call all the other girls to convince them to tell me no. It's not about what you freaking look like. I don't care if you look as pale as a ghost. I also don't care if you look orange from a spray tan. I don't care. I'm picking the dress color. Like, I'll be damned. When I stand in a wedding, I'm like, that color actually makes my skin like a little bit pale. Can we change the color theme? My photographer got married a couple months ago. Small affair on a small budget, as we don't believe in spending thousands on a wedding. I like your style. Our photographer is newly starting out, but takes great pics. We got a small package, USB with 300 pics on an album. We got our photos back yesterday, sat happily on the sofa looking at our pictures together, and we scrolled onto one of my bridesmaid with her family, then another one, and it goes on. 43 pictures of her and her family, and its location that's quite a distance from the reception, so they have gone purposely to do them in private. Am I being unreasonable to be very pissed off? She just texted an hour ago to say can she see the pics? I've yet to reply. I'd be more confused than pissed off, but absolutely you have a right to be upset because you're buying those pictures and you could have had 43 more photos of you on your wedding day and your family and your friends and your special moment. So yeah, I'd be like, what the hell were you thinking for you and your family to go off and use my photography? Use your freaking cell phone if you want pictures of you and your family. It was supposed to be the best day of their life. Instead, their maid of honor got drunk, ran over the best man, exposed herself to deputies, assaulted 2 medics, and got herself arrested. That's a lot to absorb. Got drunk, hit someone, exposed herself, assaulted. Oh my God, girl, what a day you are having. Like, is the best man okay? Just wondering, is he good? Like, did she is it murder or? Man, I worry about open bars at weddings sometimes because you just never know what you're gonna get from the crowd. All right, guys, well, those are some entitled bridesmaid who ruined the day. Would you be forgiving of these people? Let me know in the comments what you think and leave a like on the video. But before I get out of here, I'm going to do today's sassy shout out, and it goes to Nancy Torgy. They said, I've been married to my man for 13 years now. I totally trust him. He has a lot of friends, male and female. Relationship goals. This is what I want. Listen, we are allowed to have friends of the opposite sex because genuinely, when you're a genuine, loyal person, you can have friends and it simply be just friends. I'm getting out of here though, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Leave a like, subscribe, do all the things, but more importantly, stay classy out there. and stay sassy, but not on your friend's wedding day. We had champagne, and as we were pouring it out, Laura said none for her. Now Laura is the biggest party animal. All of us were, holy moly, this is a long one. Obligatory, I've never used that word in my life. The police. Did you guys hear that siren? Excuse me. Let's do my, hello? Where's my shout out? Sorry, my computer's like in the way. What does SIO mean? Sister-in-law. My SIO, hopefully that's what it means, was a groomswoman and apparently behaved so poorly. Okay, y'all, stop using these codes. What's a BP? Y'all, forget it. Like, would you have to use freaking Morse code? Like, my BP still won't tell me what she did, but I know she made my maid of honor, a woman roughly 15 years older than me, than SIL, cry and guilted my bridesman into covering expenses for her while she makes substantially more money than he does. All right, this is just a lot because first of all, I don't know who we're talking about. Sister-in-law, maid of honor, but what is BP? I'm not really sure, but making someone cry and then like guilting them to like cover expenses when you make a lot more money, this just doesn't sound like a good time. That's a no from me. So this happens 25 years ago. Wow. My sister was my maid of honor and I had a friend called Carrie. Her real name, I don't know. Okay. That's hilarious. Like, I'm gonna tell you her real name because I don't care that much. I like your style. They were bridesmaid. Honestly, this woman duck-faced in all my wedding photos, but the worst is yet to come. 2 days after getting married, my husband was killed in a car accident. Did Carrie call me to see how I was? Oh no, she phoned my husband's childhood priest and cried to him about this tragedy. Did I mention she hardly knew my husband? She turned up at the funeral drunk. I lost it and had to have people hold me back from killing her. We have not spoken since. I didn't think that this is where that was going. Number one, if you ever see this video, I am so sorry for your loss. That literally made my heart stop for a second. I wanted to throw up. That's heavy. I am so sorry. The fact they did not, your maid of honor didn't even call you. The whole other priest nonsense, that's a different story. But the fact that you did not call, that grieving process, you need a lot of support. You weren't there. She wore a white dress to the wedding. Oh, that's a sin. Kelly? No. Did you have any warning? Did someone dump red wine all over her stupid face? I'm glad I'm not the only one who gets like so upset about that. Rule of thumb, ladies, you do not wear white to a wedding. Everyone knows that. Like, do I have to write that on the invitation, or it's just like not appropriate? It's just not. That's like the point, is that like they're literally the only person in the room wearing a white dress. Like, I want that moment. Call me basic, call me needy, call me selfish. I don't care. I am not a bride, but I'm a groom whose wife had poopy bridesmaids. You spelled bridesmaids wrong, but I'll let it slide because I appreciate you writing in on behalf of your wife. One of them asked if it'd be okay for her to leave the reception early as she had to catch a bus to go to an anime convention. Same girl also refused to wear any underwear or a bra under her dress. You'd think that would be hot, but when you used to live with this girl and she is how you met your wife and she used to walk around the house naked, trust me, she puts my level of arousal from whatever level it was at to a negative 7.28 immediately upon thinking of her. Nice person, just not my cup of tea, and boy was my wife mad at her for not dressing properly day of. That's a lot of drama. So you met this girl, you met your wife through this girl who you used to live with and who walked around naked. I feel like maybe she shouldn't be at your wedding. This just sounds a little bit sketchy to me. Yeah, with her nanas out and her yabos out in the world to see. Free the nipple. I am all for free the nipple. I don't even have a bra on right now. Free the freaking nipple. I'm all for it. Time and place though. I don't know if this counts, but I'm still in the middle of planning my wedding, but the only person I wanted to be my bridesmaid in my wedding refuses to. My fiance and I are planning to have a hand fasting as we are both. I don't even want to offend anyone by trying to say this, so I'm not going to. She is a Christian and refuses to even go to our wedding. She's also a close relative of my fiance's. I was more pissed off, but I can tell that he was actually hurt. He doesn't really talk about it, but he obviously surprised when she refused and it tore him up. So I'm assuming this is, okay, you're planning to have a hand fasting wedding. I'm assuming that it is a type of religion because you're saying that this person's Christian and is refusing to go. I feel like for weddings, religion didn't put such, you know, what's the word? Like, it divides people. So I just feel like weddings, like, we all just can't leave our personal religious beliefs at the door and celebrate love. Not me, but my best friend, before we were best friends, had a horrible maid of honor who was cheating on her own husband with the photographer. The night before the wedding, one of her bridesmaids had a delayed flight, so didn't get in until the morning. The other stayed in her husband's hotel room, and her maid of honor stayed with the photographer and left the reception early with him too. So she spent the night before the wedding completely alone because the two people that were there couldn't stay away from their lovers one night. I wish I had been close with her back then, so she wouldn't have to go through that. There is a lot of whole behavior happening here, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it if it's not a wedding day, and I especially don't like if it is a wedding day. I had a friend who I asked to be in the bridal party. She accepted. At this point, we were pretty close. Dinner at least once a week, talk daily, but as soon as I got engaged, she flipped a freaking switch. You didn't say that, but I just thought it'd be more dramatic. At first, it was small things. My bridal party consists of childhood friends, cousins, and college friends, some of which I never met. She had no desire to meet anyone in the bridal party. It's weird. She was the only one who didn't show up to the bridal dinner that my parents organized for the bridesmaids. When it came to pick out the dresses, I told the girls that they could pick out whatever dress as long as it was formal and pink or red. My bridesmaids loved getting to do this, and all of the dresses came together beautifully. She hated it. She hated pink and red. She hated formal gowns. She hated it all. This in turn led to her telling me that she wouldn't be using her PTO for the wedding if I came down to her needing to. Obviously, this was very surface level compared to the other bridesmaidezillas, but I removed her from the wedding party and never thought about it again. Any bride that is like, here, these are the two colors I want you to pick from, go out, have a heyday, get whatever dress you want at whatever price. Like, to have that much freedom is pretty freaking lucky. And I think red and pink are like two totally great options because there's different shades, you had so much to work with. This girl needs to just chill the F out and peace the F out, because that's too much. I'll try to keep this short. Okay, well, so will I, because this is freaking long. My supposed to be best friend, E, was a toxic friend, but I was still in the 16-year friendship at the time of my wedding. Erg. I didn't want a hen do, and my hubby didn't want a staggers, so we just had a wee pre-wedding party. It was just cheesy and a good-natured fun, whatever. She said apart from all of us, audibly and making fun of everything we did, but I ignored her because she was always nasty and insufferably cool, and I didn't want drama when my sister had organized and if we were having fun. E has stretched earlobes, so I asked her if she wouldn't mind wearing flesh-covered plugs and earrings to match the other girls. She said yes on the day, but then she said she lost the plugs, and I bought her and had in obnoxiously large black things that really drew your eye, but I'm not a maniac. These things happen, and I really didn't care that much until I found out she'd been making fun of how she loved throwing the plugs in the bin. I am totally on board with you having like a chill, whatever, cheesy, good-natured fun, including games and stuff. Do whatever the hell you want. It's your wedding day and I'm there just to show up, support you, and celebrate your relationship. The whole stretched earrings, like I said, I appreciate that they agreed to switch them. You bought her them, which is amazing. But the fact that she went around telling people she threw them in the garbage, ooh, I'd be pissed. Had a bridesmaid who had been a somewhat close friend, her boyfriend of 6 months, but they had known each other for longer, had not proposed to her yet. And she would constantly take her frustration out on me, saying things like how they deserved to get married first since they knew each other longer than my now husband and I, which was false. Saying nasty, damning with faint praise things to me, insulting my body, insulting me in general, little caustic comments that would just hurt me honestly. It just got out of hand. She finally stopped talking to me and would purposely leave me out of things that our friend group would do. You could be dating for 3 months, you could be dating for 3 years. You do not get to say when people get married and who deserves to get married before, or who gets to get married first, or how long someone has to be dating for before they get married. Everyone's timeline is different. Whether you think you deserve it before me or not, too bad. Needed to catch up a few weeks ago before the wedding to go through the rundown. One refused to do the weekend, the other refused to do weekdays and was extremely beep about it. Groom told them to sort it out amongst themselves. Then one cried to me about how rude he was for saying that and started attacking me. I couldn't take it anymore and dumped her as a bridesmaid and friend. I don't know why bridesmaids are giving you guys so much, like, such a hard time. It ain't that serious. It is their special day. Do what you gotta do to make them happy. Being a bridesmaid is an honor, in my opinion, but I guess not. All right, guys, well, those are some more entitled bridesmaids. If you want to see another part, let me know. Let me know if you've had any horrific bridesmaid stories. Before I get out of here, though, I'm doing today's Sassy shout out, and it goes to Matt Kelly. Oh, yo, I don't know. They said that plant twitching in the background is freaking me out. I should have warned you guys. So, this plant back here blows in the wind because on the ceiling, which you do not see, there's my air conditioning vent, and then the leaves blow and people thought I had a ghost. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. Make sure you guys subscribe to keep hanging out with me. Stay classy out there, stay sassy, do all the things. Don't stay sassy towards brides though when you're the bridesmaid, okay? There's a difference. That's freaking rude. Excuse me. So this, hold on, let me move this over a little so it doesn't look like I'm reading far away. Okay, hold on, tilt. Probably won't ever get married, we'll see. My nose, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. I'm waiting, there's a drain. 7, do I have a sneeze? No, just a yawn. Holy Hannah. Have you even subscribed to the channel yet? Don't be a fake fan, hit that subscribe button. You know you want to.